Alien.
Right, here we go.
See.
We're going live.
Okay. I think.
Don't press end stream. I went to share the link out on Twitter and I nearly pressed end stream instead.
Well, the search engine does not know what I'm on about.
Oh my fucking word.
Oh, except I go into Yandex and that knows what I'm on about.
What?
I typed in Radian and it's found it.
What's a Radian?
It's like it has an interesting symbol. I think we definitely need to talk about this because they've been to the White House, so yeah. The Raelians.
Yeah, you keep saying the Raelians, but you're not explaining it. Welcome to another Fortean Words with Hobbit, who just keeps shouting one word at me.
Well, yes, because today's subject...
How about this? The Wikipedia page, list of alleged extraterrestrial beings.
So in today's episode, I thought we could do a subject near and dear to Stephen J. James's heart. Hi, Stephen J. James. If that is UFOs and alien.
See, even BBC Newsround says, could there be 36 species of aliens out there?
What is that? One for each gender?
Probably. No, that's about 436 now, isn't it?
6 million of them. So I was Hemi asked me, he said, what's that website with the aliens on it? And I was like, I can't think of one. I said, hey, what about the Raelians, as in the Raelian Society? Now, unfortunately, because I've been using the evil Russian search engine, whose name must not be spoken on Western.
Not allowed to.
It's probably one of those, fuck or bugger words.
Yeah.
So, but the Russian search engine, when I type in Radian, it's translated it into Cyrillic, so that's not very good. I thought there was a way of having it in English. What if I click on it again, and then it's like, you are from Western Spy Nation. I will give you search results in English. Because it's translated it as well. It's like, I didn't want you to translate. If I click on the Hamburg...
Hello, everybody.
Can you remember that website, Fraser? The
what one?
The Ayla Mouse episode with the sketches.
Fuck knows.
Shit! It might be. I think I know where it might be.
The Yandex has. Oh, sorry. I mean, the anonymous Russian browser has a UFO link, but I clicked on it. It's just showing me pictures of dogs and a man with a dog.
And that's all you need to know, folks. Good night.
Yeah. And I think we're done.
How are you? This word is.
I found it in the old Fortean Words Discord, I think.
Oh, nice. This is reverse capital R,
we should have
lowercase
remembered it
h.
because it's alienUFOresearch.com, I think.
It's a bog standard name ever, right?
Mate, how was I supposed to remember something like alienresearch.com?
Joke's on them, because it should be Alien UAP Research now.
Oh
yeah, the wet ass UFOs.
Or UAP.
Well, UFO.
Well,
I don't think that's the one, but it's close.
They come from the sea, so yeah, I'm going to say it is. What if I type in Yandex, but in English?
But don't say Yandex.
Oh yes, sorry. I think I said fuck or bugger once, but got away with it.
Other research engines are available.
Yeah, that's it. Right, so if I type in Alien Society, and please confirm.
We must have done all that as well.
Yeah, we've done that. Yeah, we have.
Oh,
yeah.
I've spelt it wrong because apparently it's RAE with the umlaut.
Shit! It's galactic.no.com. It's galactic.no. Who visit Earth too? Who visit Earth? Who visit Earth?
I thought, you see, this will become. This will become. This will become pertinent, right? Because we're talking about alien owls because Tucker Carlson mentioned them.
That's it. Yeah.
And that's why Stephen J. James is like, I don't believe in UFOs, which is very good, Stephen J. James. You're right. Space isn't real, but demons are, and they do use certain vessels.
Are we
going to
talk about the Ogolong or the Uganga aliens?
Oh, you mean the Dogon tribe who know about the Uluru and Bibiti and hang on, what's his name again? Mugole Mgembe. The reptilian.
There's so many of these ones we didn't do, like the fucking.
Yeah, we can blow people's wigs back with some more alamels.
Now, I'm on the Raelian Society website, which has got an interesting symbol for their society.
Is it a snake dog? Oh.
No, it's got what looks like the Israeli flag, but it's a bit of an interesting remix to the.
Let's have a look.
It's look in the back chat.
Oh, that's what. What's his?
That is interesting.
That's what Yeezy was holding up, weren't he?
Now, the Raelian Society have had an audience in the White House before, so they're not just like some kooky fringe cult. They're like, you don't just get into the White House unless you get an invitation, right?
And you're saying that's their symbol and they get away with it?
That's their symbol, and they literally they're sort of, they kind of remind me of the what's that Baptist church, the one with had the luminescent signs, the ones with
I thought
words.
You were talking about
Westboro?
The Westboro Baptist Church. That's it.
Yeah, is that the one?
Well, there's a photograph of them where they're doing this parade, and they've got like an alien pharaoh and a sign saying there is no God. And I'm just like, I'm sure one of them's be like aliens hates, and then what the Westboro Baptist Church hates. But I'm looking on their website, and it's got this nice animated intro and a flying saucer landing on the thing. Now, Raelian movement, intelligent design for atheists. Extraterrestrials created all life on Earth.
It's designed for atheists.
All right, because right. Get this. This isn't a troll. This isn't a troll. This is a legitimate research society for the research of UFOs and aliens. Extraterrestrials created all life on Earth. Let's build an embassy to welcome them.
Yeah.
They got free downloads, ebooks, meditation, rail songs, music by Raelians. There's an embassy. The message from ET.
Wait, can we listen to that, Hemi? We gotta listen to some Raelian music.
Right.
Yeah, you got the link's just above your one, mate.
Hold on. I'm just putting the picture up. I'm just putting the highly problematic picture up.
What you talk about that being highly problematic? Yeah. That's just like, look, this is the flag of the official Alamal's reception.
I have it on good authority that Erase has already copyrighted that flag. And all
well, they can't because aliens created all life on Earth, so they have to get permission from them.
Right. What are you talking about a bit?
Oh, Ian says a alien is a Chinese alien.
A alien. Yeah. Are you hopping on, Ian, or are you busy?
Well, that's where you're wrong. No, this isn't a cryptozoology one. This is about real aliens that are real. Yeah. And who better to talk about...
Stephen J. James be damned.
Stephen J. James, eternally BTFO.
Yeah.
Last seen, like, pigging out on Krispy Kreme donuts. So a message from the ETs.
Is the Cleopatra hat dude real or an effigy? He was real in the Raelian's mind.
He was real when he went to the White House and had an interview. Actually, let me find out, because people will be like, "Oh, Hobbit, you're just making up shit again."
Why is he wearing red shoes?
Raelians, because the Raelians.
He's wearing fucking Dorothy slippers.
Dorothy's, yeah.
They ain't any old shoes. They're fucking Dorothy slippers. Remember the 6 million alien encounters, says Byra. Yes, we do.
Okay, so we got a Gizmodo article here. I'll start off with reading this thing.
What is Gizmodo?
It's
That's
like
a tech website, isn't it?
Imagine Vice, but nerdier.
Yeah.
The international Radian movement might be the world's most science-fictional religion. It's not a religion. It's intelligent design for atheists. At the very least, they are up there with Scientology.
There was quite a lazy design in that flag. If it's royal blue, they can't copyright it, right?
That's it. Oh, it says 109 daily newsletter. World is a fuck. I don't want news from the future. I just want to read the article. At the very least, they're up there with Scientology. Their founder claims he met the aliens who created the human race, and their main ritual involves sending your DNA to an alien planet. The group announced they cloned a human baby in 2002. I could actually believe that. It's not the first time someone's done human cloning.
When was Dolly? That was 1999, wasn't it?
1997. And you know what the thing about that was? The bloke who did it was like, well, I don't see why this is big news. I mean, we've been doing human cloning since... No, it's not human cloning. Been doing animal cloning since the 1940s.
That Dolly the sheep, I mean, that was amazing. I mean, you know how unique sheep are.
The reason he cloned the sheep was because he wanted like a controlled experiment. So he had like the original sheep and the clone, and then for some reason they're like the news got the wrong end of the stick on it. It was just like, oh, it's amazing! It's the first animal that's ever been cloned. It's like, but no, it's not. but that quite quickly got ignored.
Was it the first one that had ever been cloned in England?
Admitted, maybe
maybe it was the first animal cloned in 1997.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a remarkable.
We have a Guinness World Records for clones now. It's like
maybe it was like maybe it was remarkable. It's like
cloning.
First sheep to ever be cloned and confirmed it's a clone. So, DNA twinning planet, they made a human baby in 2002. They want to rebuild African women's clitorises in the special pleasure hospital.
What?
Okay.
What the aliens do?
Remember Aliens, pleasure hospital.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't help but think about pleasure treasure now.
I don't even know what.
But if anything,
do I want to know about that or not?
It's this website. Give me this website. Read this shit.
I posted it in the back chat.
Right, okay.
But if anything,
it's the Radian website.
But if anything, the Raelians are the opposite of the Scientologists. They're goofy, laid back, a little bit cheesy, and anything but paranoid. They strip naked in public government buildings, zany billboards, and pose with inflatable UFOs. That all seems to be.
Are this the aliens, or is this the people that worship the aliens?
The Radian Society are a serious, intelligent design for atheists, and they are not to be messed with, for they have the ears of the highest echelons of the US government.
John Podesta says his biggest regret is not disclosing UFOs. He said that on February the 17th, 2015. Obama aide John Podesta has come out publicly saying his biggest regret in the White House is not getting UFO disclosure, because every president is going to do the UFO disclosure, aren't they? Every single one.
The living ones, or fucking the other one, and come back from the dead to do it.
Well, every single one. As soon as there's a new president coming in, there's always the rumor that the UFO files.
Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah.
I've been curious about the
Frithwell thinks SJJ could be an Aurelian.
Aurelian.
An Aurelian.
A golden one. What you mean?
Ray said, I thought his biggest regret was allegedly abducting Madeleine McCann.
Allegedly,
not really in Minecraft. Not really.
Allegedly, in Euro Truck Simulator, there's an identikit photo of the last two suspects seen with Madeleine McCann, which allegedly look a bit like him if it was a Max Payne graphics in the Max Payne universe. Anyway, I've been curious about the Radians for a decade.
He abducted Madeleine McCann in Max Payne.
Yes. Charlie Jane Anders said this, by the way. I've been curious about the aliens for oh, hang on. Charlie Jane Anders.
Well,
I'm assuming this
everyone
is
wants me to zoom in on the alien, so I shall.
Oh my god! What? The last prophet rail.
Right. So, I've been curious about the aliens for a decade. So when I had the chance to come to one of their meetings with most of the top Radian leadership in attendance, I was overjoyed. And I was a little bit terrified. Would I have to donate my clitoris to the pleasure hospital? Or force me to do sensual meditation with them? Here's what happened on my day with the Radians. Just who are the Radians anyway? Until recently, the Scientologists kept all of their wacky stuff about Xenu and the Thetans under wraps, with only upper echelons knowing any of it. But the Radians have always put their zany cosmology front and centre, announcing it to anyone who would listen, and some people who wouldn't.
You can see the man now.
According to the Radian movement, the human race was created by a race of beings called the Elohim. Okay. At one point during my dinner with the group, a Radian from Mexico named Eddie earnestly cautions me not to call the Elohim aliens because they don't like that word.
But
it reminds them
thinks Brutus may be an alien in disguise.
It reminds them too much of alienation, and nobody should ever have to be called an alien. Instead, the preferred term is.
Do you think Brutus could be an alien in disguise? That's what it was. Just why he was studying you while you were asleep.
Instead, the preferred
is that why
term,
he anally probed you when you went to Creep's house?
Instead, the preferred term is extra testicles. The Elohim are a perfect race of androgynous beings with male and female.
Are you neither confirming nor denying you were anally probed by Brutus, Hobbit?
With male and female Elohim being impossible to distinguish.
Got him. He won't answer it. He won't answer it, Ray.
They've eliminated. They're not strong enough to shift me from my supine position.
There you go, Ray. Conclusive proof Hobbit was alien probed by anal probed by Brutus.
I slept on my back all night long, and I did not leave that position until I got up to get up. With male and female Elohim being impossible to distinguish, they've eliminated racism, and they only have one race instead of the 9 they had originally. They've also
what?
Yeah.
Only one race, but not the human race.
There's one race, the Elohim race. They've also done away with greed, war, poverty, and other problems we still have, including why does my nostril hairs get...
Cleopatra alien's other arm?
Never mind. Over the centuries, they've sent various prophets to our world.
No, it's there.
Yeah.
Well, you can see the arm on the left-hand side as we're looking at it, but where's the other one?
It's there. Can you not see it?
Look, the Radiants have advanced beyond the need for more than one arm.
You're going blind, mate. You need just look on Specsavers.
Aren't you glad I mentioned the Radiants?
Yes. Yeah, Cantoria. Go on.
Yeah.
Good.
He's got two.
They've eliminated racism, anal polyps, and that annoying feeling when you sit down you have to give a grunt even though you're not in pain. They've also, they've sent various prophets to our world, including Jesus, and Jesus wasn't a prophet; he's the Son of God, but never mind. To try and raise our consciousness, and now the founder of Raelianism is the last prophet. That's Rael, formerly known as...
You mean Israelism?
I can't believe it's not Israelism. That's Rael, formerly known as Claude Vorhelion?
Do they have to keep attacking the Lestanian people?
So let me try
people.
Let me try and spell this word out. Vorhilhon. Vorhilhon. He was a minor pop star in France in the 1960s. Alors Claude Vorhelion.
Frith Wolf was written in capitals. There is no God, okay, dude.
And then he was a pop star in France in the 1960s, and then he became a race car test driver and owned a car magazine. One day in 1973, he was driving in the middle of nowhere when he met the Elohim, and they told him to make the human race ready for their arrival.
Dum da dum dum dum.
This was shortly after he'd crashed his car into a cliff.
Rail wrote about his experience in his book, now called Intelligent Design. But my best
Did
explanation
his hands
of
get all
Raelian...
smashed up and he had to go to a Tibetan
Wait,
monastery
whoa,
to learn
what?
magic?
Sorry, hold on. Right, so intelligently designed, right?
Intelligent
But yet
Design.
they need to raise our consciousness.
Intelligent Design for
How does that-
atheists.
I'll be back in a sec, lads.
The Alamals.
So you design something, right, and you make it perfect.
Yeah.
But then you need to raise its consciousness. Why? Why don't you just make it perfect from the beginning?
Ah.
Why do you have to raise its consciousness?
Maybe we got corrupted, and I'd actually say that
I see.
unironically that's probably true, because if you look back in Genesis and stuff, you got men living thousands of years. Like Methuselah, I mean, we use that term like a Methuselah, like, you know, long life.
Yeah.
But it's like Methuselah's life was bang average, like you know, 1,000 years, and it's like, yeah, and your granddad was 700 years, and the other one after that was 1,700 years. So Methuselah was just like he wasn't long lived; he was bang average. I mean, 1,000 years was nothing for them back then. I mean, the men were 7 foot tall. They had X-ray vision, and they could leap over a tree in a single bound and live thousands of years. So just. Oh, and they all had like.
They weren't human; they were giants.
Well, you see, I get a feeling like we're fallen since that time. So where am I? My best explanation of Aurelian theology comes from talking to Nicole, who has been a guide or a member of the Aurelian priesthood since 1980. Remember, this is intelligent design for atheists. Nobody except for Rael himself has met an Elohim as of yet, says Nicole. But the overall goal of the Raelian movement is to get the human race to the point of our evolution where we can welcome the Elohim to Earth and greet them face to face. The Elohim want us to build an embassy that they can land in. That's the picture on their website. They can transfer through space, but unless you build them a landing pad,
I see. Right. Okay. Yes.
won't work.
Won't work. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like the film. What was it? Oh, what was that film where they
Contact.
That was it. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. They have to build the machine to.
Do you remember those machines were so popular in the 90s? Like, you step inside them and you like get swirled around, and it's like, oh, you're drunk without being drunk, and when you go out of them, you're all dizzy.
Yeah.
I miss those. They're great fun.
But the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, but you don't feel anything.
Yeah, because Alamals. Nobody except for realms. Oh yeah, we said that. In the meantime, it's up to the followers of Maitreya, as the Raelians call Rael now, Maitreya, to make the world ready. But what if they don't succeed, I ask? What if humans just aren't going to evolve fast enough to build an embassy on the Elohim's timetable? Nicole says they've considered that possibility, and there's a plan B. If the human race fails to evolve fast enough, we will probably wind up destroying ourselves with our high technology. And if that happens, then certain people will be spared. Anybody who's followed Rael, plus certain people have been working to make the world a better place. If that plan B happens, these chosen few, definitely not Jehovah's Witnesses, will stay on the Elohim's planet until Earth is habitable again. Then they'll return to Earth and repopulate it with only loving people, says Nicole. She very kindly. Now, the thing is, right, when they say love, if I was to say I love my family and I would do harm to those that wish ill upon my family, you know, I'm because I love my family, I'm willing to defend them. Some would say, oh, well, that means you hate them. No, I love my family. You can't have love without hate. They are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's that Iron Maiden song, isn't it?
Only loving people.
The thin line between loving.
It is what, a Rizzler paper thin.
Yeah, pretty much.
So only loving people are going to come to Earth, and definitely not hate one another when one's when one's love is a bit forceful. She's very kindly and could be a college professor, except she gets slightly weird look in her eyes when she talks about the Alamals coming and taking her away to her planet. Nicole was brought up in a strict religious family, where asking too many questions was frowned upon, and part of what she loves about realism is the fact that there are no mysteries. She lives for the day where the Elohim can finally meet with the humanity that they created. I've been sort of fascinated with the aliens since I met them in 2005. I was on my way to a science fiction... Yeah.
Why did they create us, Hobbit? Is that explained? Is there a reason why they created us?
Because... because I'm bored, I'm going to create some humans. Hey, look, these humans are pretty interesting. Cool. Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that, we'll just leave them to their own devices for 6 million years. I've been sort of fascinated with aliens since I met them in 2005. I was on my way to a science fiction convention in San Francisco, where I ran into a group of naked people on Castro Street. Handing out leaflets about UFOs. They were standing around in front of...
Is that going to be renamed to Trudeau Street?
They were standing around in front of the Gap. I assume that's some sort of anal sex reference.
The Gap. You don't know what Gap is. It's a clothes shop.
Oh, okay. Well, I just like...
yeah, well, the irony there is,
Castro Street, San Francisco, there's a shop called Yawning Gap. I mean, it's like... 5 or 6 beautiful, stark naked men and women smiling and greeting everybody in front of a white van. Seeing naked people hanging around in San Francisco isn't exactly unusual, but they were a large co-ed group and abnormally cheerful. In the years that followed, I heard stories about zany sex rituals, including sensual meditation. And a constellation of random New Age beliefs and political views that seemed like a grab bag of weirdness. God, we gotta get Stephen J. James into the... He needs to be a roving reporter there.
We gotta track these people down. Like, let's go 14 on tour. 14 on tour.
Can we have a whip around and send Ian and Stephen J. James to report on the Raelians for us? Who's going to be the straight man in that group?
Stephen J. James would love it as long as they don't drink.
Oh, but they don't. That's the thing. So you'd be well up for it. I mean, it'd just be like when he goes to Thailand and doesn't have any sex with any of the prostitutes. When I get the chance to go to Vegas and attend one of their meetings with a lot of senior Raelians, but not Rael himself, they referred to him as Maltreya. I jumped at the opportunity, and then I started to feel kind of nervous. Nobody was going to know where I was, and anything could happen. I decided I'm not going to eat or drink anything the Raelians give me.
Bahrain's got a report. He says, good news, Nordic aliens are real. Bad news, they're all latte drinking urban liberals.
It is confirmed. I don't want to get roofied for Rael, and I promise a friend I will text her at a predetermined time so she knows I'm still okay. On the appointment date, I fly to Vegas and make my way to a big white stucco house in a quiet neighbourhood.
I hate stucco.
There's a rock garden.
Why do they use the name? Isn't there a better word than stucco? I fucking hate stucco.
What is stucco?
It's plaster, isn't it? Yeah, plastered housing. Yeah.
Oh, whitewash?
That white kind of, yeah.
Yeah. There's a rock garden and a big stone Buddha out front. I venture inside and put down my coat and all my stuff in the corner. And then I'm swept up in a flurry of hugs. Every one of the radiant...
Right, Hobbit, stucco... Oh, fuck. Why does it tell you the interesting bit in the bit, but not when you get into the... What is stucco?
I read about that in Encyclopedia Britannica.
Stucco is a plaster-like material made of cement, sand, lime and water. In fact, stucco means plaster in Italian. It's been around for centuries and is used in both construction and art. You'll see stucco used as siding in a range of colours and textures.
Is it called stucco because it sticks to walls?
It sounds Italian or Greek or something, doesn't it?
Well, it's Italian, yeah.
Stucco.
Stucco.
I fling the pebble dash to the wall, it's stucco.
So anyway, toilet.
Every one of the Radians has to hug me once or twice in some cases. There are men who have a decent amount of product in their hair, and women wearing lots of makeup and cute party frocks. But this is Vegas after all. I assume product means
says
cocaine.
Pebble Dash is inherently English. Especially pebble dashing the toilet after you had a particularly nasty curry.
I just remember there was this bit of the two fat slags, and they got some cheap meat from Baz because he works at the dog food factory. It's like, they put stuff that's not fit for human consumption in dog food, and they said this wasn't fit for dog, so it must be fit for humans.
Hobbit, by Ray's got the pronunciation for you. It's stucco, and you have to hold your hand like that.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. So anyway, the bit of naivety happens where like Baz is shagging them. And unfortunately, it turns out that food not fit for human consumption, that's not fit for dog consumption, gives them an upset tummy. And then Baz is like, son, you've pebble dashed my pubes.
Oh, no.
Oh, fucking grim. That's grim.
Oh, I like hickory smoke, I do. Yeah, well, it's a tyre.
It's a tyre.
Put a tyre in the fucking barbecue. Oh, nice hickory smoke, that is. It's a fairly small group, about 20 to 25 people, and at one point Nicole says that there are so few aliens on this plane that it's important to have a lot of fun when the group of them get together. The meeting starts with introductions and stuff, and then Ricky, who's the Raelian Continental Guide for all of North America, leads us in fully clothed meditation.
Fully clothed, oh god.
Yeah, that bit's in brackets, the fully clothed. It's pretty much standard watch your breathing stuff, then it turns into visualizing the cells in different parts of our bodies. The cells in your arm are a little more aware of themselves, thanks to your thinking of them, Ricky says. And now they can operate in more harmony. Ricky has totally awesome hair and golden skin, and his red and white flannel shirt is unbuttoned about 6 buttons down, revealing his smooth buff chest.
Did you mention that Virilhon is a journalist and former racing driver?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. This sounds more like a Barbara Cartland novel now. It's revealing his smooth buff chest and his
50 Shades of Grey, the alien edition or something.
And his Raelian medallion. That symbol, featuring a swastika inside a Star of David, has caused some controversy in Israel, among other places, but most of the Raelians wear it.
Emerging from the Abrahamic traditions, Raelianism takes up the strands of Jewish messianism and prophecy and also reinterprets the Book of Revelation. Rael claims that during his encounter it was revealed to him that Elohim sent the commonly known prophets, Moses... Oh, you already said this, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got annoyed when they were saying Jesus was a prophet. It's like, no, he's the son of God. There's a difference. That symbol feature. Oh yeah, I said that bit. And there's a giant illuminated lucite version of it sitting on the coffee table near me. Weirdly, for the first hour of the meeting, nobody had sexual intercourse. This political cartoon is showing on the giant screen attached. Page.
Stephen J. James approves this message.
So it unfortunately the political cartoon link to that is it doesn't.
Is this taken from Max Mosley's diary?
Okay, now.
After the meditation is done, we watch some videos
about
the world.
We can say that because he's dead now.
Allegedly. After the meditation is done. I'm not a coroner, so I wouldn't know. Yeah. We watched some videos about the world situation.
I'm not a biologist, so I wouldn't know if he was alive or dead.
I don't know if he's a man or a woman. So we watched some videos about the world situation, some of which are supposed to be inspirational.
We watched some videos about the world situation. Like, what's the world situation?
We're all going to die.
It's the situation.
Nuclear apocalypse.
No, the situation was
very
in
simple.
Geordie Shore. Not Geordie, Jersey Shore.
You know how we stop nukes? We fuck each other in the arse.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember this. So the Radiants have a lot of trouble getting... here we go, right.
You smear cowdung all over yourself and stare at Hobbit while he's asleep. That's what you do, don't you, Hobbit?
And some of which are supposed to be funny. The Radiants have a lot of trouble getting QuickTime Video to work. They should have used VLC. While we're waiting for them to sort out the problems, one of their longtime members, a college professor, tells the group incredibly hokey sex jokes, like this one. Is that going to link to something that doesn't exist anymore? Oh no, here we go. Call me Bubba. A man boarded an airplane and took a seat. As he settled in, he glanced up and saw a very beautiful woman boarding the plane. He soon realised she was heading straight towards his seat. Lo and behold, she took the seat right beside his. Eager to strike a conversation...
Does anyone want to become a shareholder in Gab?
No.
I'm getting offered Gab shares on my emails.
Oh, right, okay. Was that by a Nigerian prince?
No, actually from Gab. So that's even. Is that better or worse? Is that better or worse?
Well, yeah.
Which intelligence agency's sending you that?
What happens if you reply to it, Moo Moo Ogun Thunderstrike you?
I don't know.
Don't say fuck or bugger. Eager to strike a conversation, he blurted out, business trip or vacation. She turned, smiled and said, business. I'm going to the annual Nymphomania convention in Chicago. He swallowed hard.
Is he Wayne Bowl selling electric bikes? Because I've got an email from Jim Carter H at julieanduwe.com. Is Uwe Boll selling electric bikes now?
I guess his film career must have been... He's got to do something to supplement.
Is that how he funds
income.
the movies? He sells electric bikes? Is that what it is?
I guess, yeah. So he swallowed hard. Here was the most gorgeous woman he'd ever seen sitting next to him, and she was going to a meeting for nymphomaniacs. Struggling to maintain his composure, he calmly asked, "What's your business role at this convention?" "Lecturer," she responded. "I use my experience to debunk some of the popular myths about sexuality." "Really?" he said. What myths are those?
I'm gutted. If I'd have only read my emails before, I could have gone to Pop Taser in Basildon.
Oh, wow.
They're delighted to announce another special guest, Pineapple Music Club.
I don't get emails like that.
Don't you?
All of mine... What am I...
Special.
I'll carry on reading. Look at
this.
Joke,
I'm in line for IMF funding. We've done it, lads. We've done it, lads.
Wait, do you have to like secure the loan on your driveway or other infrastructure?
We are a United Kingdom base, and they're using weird A's. What are those weird A's that look like they're looped out? I don't know. We are
symbol.
No, it's like a weird A. It looks like a fish, kind of. I don't know, strange. We are a United Kingdom-based investment company offering corporate and personal loan at 3. This is like actually how it's written. Like, so this is dead legit with English like that. Offering corporate and personal loan. Personal is uncapitalised, loan is capitalised. At 3% interest rate for the duration of 10 years. We also pay 1% commission to brokers who introduce project owners for finance and other opportunities. Please get back to me if you're interested in more details. Best regards, Jonathan Bingham, Account Officer, HSBC Financial Investment, and his email is jonathan.bingham@my.com. Seems very legit, that does.
Can you reply to him and ask him where my JMK money... No, JML.
money
I'll get the two mixed up. Where my JML money is. Because, look, that ShamWow is a good product and I'll stand by it, but seriously, £800 I was promised. £800 for that live read.
Yeah.
Anyway, so carry on, lecturer. What myths are those? Well, she explained, one popular myth is that African American men are the most well endowed, when in fact it's the Native American Indian who is most likely to possess that trait. Another popular myth is that the Frenchmen are the best lovers, when actually it's men of Jewish descent. We have, however, found the best potential lover in all categories is the Southern redneck. Suddenly, the woman became a little uncomfortable and blushed. "I'm sorry," she said. "I shouldn't really be discussing this with you. I don't even know your name." Tonto, the man said. "Tonto Goldstein, but my friends call me Bubba."
That's not my name. Do you remember that? The Ting Tings.
No.
They call me Stacy. They call me... Don't you remember that song? The Ting Tings, like, that's not my name.
Okay.
I think it rings a bell.
So anyway, this was...
They call me her. They call me Stacy. You remember that?
Yeah,
the whip and the
I'm not going to stop until you say yes, Hobbit.
The milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's curdled. The bling and ting, yeah. I'm down with it, cuz it's a hard knock life. So anyway, that was the joke told by the Raelians to this woman. Where am I now? Yeah, at one point the college professor.
The aliens told. I thought they told the joke. Where do astronauts park their rockets?
In Uranus.
At parking meters.
Oh, okay. At one point, the college professor suggests you really have to be highly involved to get the full impact of his sense of humour. The cloning thing. Chances are you've heard of the Radians, but it's probably been a while since you thought about them. Yeah. Oh, we've all heard about the Radians, guys. I mean, yeah, we remember when Bill Clinton invited them into the White House. Come on, I want the bit. This all of this is like not.
To him?
Hey, do the aliens like saxophone?
Apparently, By Ray has given us some information on the Ting Tings. It was a song by a hoe who kept getting called the wrong name by a dude she screwed. Apparently, that's why it's called that.
Recently I listened to a song by My Doom and I thought it was pretty good. I just like, hey, look, it's drum and bass, but I don't know this artist called Mind Doom. Where is it? What I was looking at the thing with the thing. Right, here we go. The big splash in 2002 where they announced they had cloned a girl through their company Clonaid. The picture at left is Clonaid Brigitte Bozilier. 2000. Well, there's no picture here. 2003 press conference, which she is unveiling their proprietary.
Dizzy Rascal did a version of That's Not My Name. He changed the chorus to "They call me Blood, they call me Rude Boy, they call me Oi, they call me Mate, they use the N word like it's a game. That's not my name."
I could imagine that. Hey, if Dizzy Rascal and Missy had to like fight to the death, who do you think would win, and who's getting the pay-per-view credits?
Can we clone half of them each and then have Mizzy Rascal?
So, oh yeah, that's it. She is unveiling their proprietary embryonic cell fusion system. Rail himself testified before Congress in a hearing of the House Energy and Commerce Oversight Panel on human cloning. So this is the thing, right? It's just like, oh, they're a quirky group, you know. They just do like naked stuff and have a laugh and aliens and all that. Yeah. By the way, we've invented a technology for human cloning, and here's the leader talking to the Congress. Is about human cloning. Over the past 8 or 9 years, though, the Radians have sort of faded into the woodwork. They still have their week-long Happiness Academy seminars in various places, including Vegas. They still get in the headlines occasionally. Earlier this year, Ricky rented a billboard near Vegas Highway with the message, "There is no God." And Clonaid still exists. At one point during my visit to the Radians, I'm riding in a car with Claude, their main Vegas organizer, and his second command, Leia. And Claude tells me that we are still cloning many people in his thick French accent. "We do not talk about it much," he says, "but cloning is still going on big time." Claude has a big soul patch and wavy black hair, and big time is his favourite phrase, big time. According to Claude, many rich and powerful people who used to attack the Radians now secretly support them, paying vast sums of money to be cloned so that they can live forever. But how do you use cloning to live forever, I ask? You would have to be able to transfer your consciousness into the cloned body, like in Richard K. Morgan's Altered Carbon.
Can you tell what is the float?
Shit!
Why have we got the floating out bullshit on our?
Okay, this is actually interesting about this Clonaid, right? So the reason why human cloning is explicitly banned by the Americans is because of this event, this Eve baby they cloned, supposedly. Do you know where this cloning took place?
No.
It's in Korea.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh yeah, because Korea were doing this stuff with like, we found genes for glowing dark jellyfish. We put it in cat. Now we have glowing dark cat. That'll be 1,000,001. And like, yeah, you can get designer pets in Korea because like, we're Korea. We fuck around with genetics, so we still have 3-centimeter long penis.
Yeah. So this is why human cloning is banned. Like. in America.
Yes.
Because of this. Before that, though, you had to have permission. You're allowed to clone someone as long as you get permission.
By Ray says
permission.
By Ray says cloning in Korea would certainly explain K-pop.
Literally, the deep underground military.
It may explain K-pop, but it doesn't explain fans of K-pop. Now that is Fortean. Fans of K-pop.
Wait, that might explain why all the Koreans have the same surname.
Yeah. I thought that was because in Korea, don't they use the first name last and the last name first?
It was a joke meant to just be left there as a.
No, seriously, I think they use the last name. So like,
wait, I seriously think they're all clones.
So like they're all called John. Like you think they've all got the same surname, but the joke's on you because it's not. It's their first name. Like everybody's called John in Korea.
I think the Chinese do the same thing as well.
Mm.
Wait, is that how there's so many of them? It's like.
Yeah, it's not their surname. That's why it's like they're all called John.
I've got more chins than a Chinese phone book.
They're all called Mush.
So they're all clones. They're all clones in China.
They're all called Mush.
Oh, they all look the same anyway. So yeah, we don't.
Yeah. There you go. Family name, then given name.
So
that's not my name. That's not my name.
There is definitely a stumbling block, agrees Claude, and there's also an ethical issue. Once the clone has grown to adulthood independently, he or she will have a whole separate set of memories and whole identity as a person.
Says there's no proper law about it yet. Now we know what Frith's been doing in his shed.
So it wouldn't be a right to erase the clone's consciousness.
That's what he's shed out for, to keep his clones in it. Frithwill's making a clone army in his shed.
Attack of the Clones. So it wouldn't be right to.
No, it's the Revenge of the Frith. You know.
Revenge of the Frith. Oh, that's bad.
That's bad. Oh, hang on. Right.
What the
this
fuck?
Is definitely.
What is Ray on about? Actually, it's because the Kim family had a monopoly on the milk delivery industry in Korea, Hemi.
That's probably true.
Oh fuck! I get it. It's alright. I get it back. Yeah. Fucking hell. That took a while.
I'm gonna stop Alzheimer's aid.
It was literally like a cascade machine at the beach. You know, the penny was like dunk 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 dunk.
The pennies dropped then.
Yeah. I don't see how that's a penny.
Well, it's the closest I've got because yes, there's definitely a stumbling block, and there's also an ethical issue. Oh yeah, this says, there we go. Luckily, says Claude, the aliens are working on the solution to both problems. It's much easier if I pronounce it in French because they're French.
So
their scientists are close to perfected clones with accelerated growth. That way, they can produce a fully adult human clone with no mind of his or her own. The Radiant scientists are also close to being able to transfer someone's mind into a new body, making true mortality possible. So, like, LOL, aren't they funny? Oh, by the way, AI, cloning, human transfer, yeah, Radians. Fucking Radians.
Fucking paid, what, 20 grand a year to be a fucking knobhead?
Oh, sacre bleu. I left with the impression the Radiants were a lot more uptight during the height of the cloning hysteria. At dinner, the college professor tells us that Rael's bodyguards freaked out when the professor first met Rael and tried to hug him back in 2003. At the time, Rael told the professor that he was worried the CIA and FBI were trying to plant infiltrators in the group to spy on him. Communism with robots? Oh god, yeah, I remember this guy now. You thought like Klaus
mouth, you fucking brain dead cunt.
You thought like what's it called? Klaus Schwab with his like I am an evil villain outfit looked bizarre. There's a video here which like, you know, we make it's 4 minutes long, so I don't say play it, but at least enough to play like so people can go this is the leader of the Raelian race.
Oh god! Oh yeah. Dude, that's the vibes coming off that.
Hi guys, intelligent design for atheists here. Hello guys, it's intelligent design for atheists here. He was basically the Jeremy Clarkson of French car journalism. Imagine if Jeremy Clarkson, instead of making a farm, was just like, I'm interested in human cloning. I'm going to make the best human clones in the world.
I don't want to know who you use, as long as they're not complete muppets.
The main subject of today's radio meeting is the political philosophy known as paradism, which is described as being like communism, except the proletariat are replaced with robots and nanobots who do all the work for humanity. There's no money, and everybody shares equally.
Some fucked up skunk class A. I can't think, let alone move shit.
Doesn't sound very good to me.
I got a story about that, but it's probably for after we're off the air. Who do all the work for humanity. There's no money, and everybody shares equally. That's how it's done on the planet of Elohim, the planet Elohim. Thomas, one of the top Radian leaders and a vice president.
Once you genocide 8 other races, you might as well just name it after yourself, right?
I guess that's
Seems expensive.
we sort of
Seems. Well, this seems to be a waste of my time. That is 900 knicker in any shop you're lucky enough to find one in, and you're complaining about 200.
This sounds like Peep Show.
just random Lockstock clips.
But Occupy... Oh, right. Right. Thomas, one of the top radio leaders and vice president of Clone, tells us that Occupy Wall Street is part of a global revolution that's coming. Now, for context, for those that were born in, say, 2006, like one of the workers I was working with today, Occupy Wall Street was this thing of...
Shit, there are people born today who don't know what that is. Jeez.
Yeah, it was like disgruntled, and then the woke stuff happened because of it happened because of Occupy Wall Street. There was like, we want an end to these bankers like taking all of our money and using it to bail out these banks. Fuck you. And there's like, but what about gay issues?
Renationalise milk and ale.
What about gay issues? What about blacks? What about the transsexuals? And then instead of it being like, we're going to occupy Wall Street until like the banks give us our money back, it became like, we're just going to fight amongst ourselves with these
in a box
issues. So anyway, that's Occupy Wall Street. But Occupy Wall Street is short on real solutions to our problems, and that's where paradism comes in.
Well, it's not that. It got fucking co-opted, didn't it? Because it was successful. But it was in danger of being successful, weren't it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It got co-opted into like being about victim issues. Like, what about the transsexual blacks that are in wheelchairs? They need like wheelchair ramp access to Goldman Sachs banks. How can they occupy things without it? So where is it? That's the paradox. We watched a video. Rail himself says we should welcome the coming total economic collapse because it's like childbirth. The pain leads to the creation of something wonderful. He's giving me Klaus Schwab vibes now. I mean, he's doing human cloning. He's rubbing shoulders with the U.S. government. The top celebrities are like, make me a clone of my body so I can live forever. This is Jeremy Clark. This is French Jeremy Clarkson. I'm going to create the finest human clones in the world. After we learn all about paradism, we're divided into small groups of 4 or 5 people and given an exercise.
James Mays will have like a squid tentacle for a leg or something.
Clarkson? No, it's not Clarkson. What's his name? Voorhees?
Jason
Clarkson! I cloned James May, but I did it wrong. What's this? It's you. No, it's not. It's a pig. Well, it looks like you. We spliced your DNA with a pig. We've created man, bear, pig.
Imagine Top Gear, but they instead of like messing with each other's cars, they're messing with each other's clones.
They create a clone of Richard Hammond that's only 3 foot tall.
The real Richard Hammond is only 3 feet tall.
It's Hobbit Hammond.
Yeah, they actually make him taller. Just.
Yeah, that's it. After we learn about paradism, we're divided into small groups of 4 or 5 and given exercise. We're supposed to pretend we're about to present paradism to President Ubungo on behalf of the radio movement and advise him how to create a world with robot surgeons and no private property where you don't have to use a counterfeit $20 bill.
Robot surgeons makes think of that Red. Do you remember the Red Dwarf when the Scutters are doing listeners' temperature? He has blues in the eye. I just imagine it's like that.
Yep. Right away, my small working group runs into problems. One member of the group, an older man with a giant white handlebar moustache, keeps insisting that the people who create this robot proletariat will need to be compensated for their labour with money. A system of total equality and sharing will never work because some people work harder than others and have more specialised skills, like robot designers.
I think you might find it's actually some people inherit their money and they don't really think they should work. That's for the plebs. Yeah. I think you'll find that's actually the problem. It's not people who want to be properly compensated for their time.
Or surgeons who can never be replaced entirely.
Maggie Thatcher, am I right? I just went a bit Ben Elton then.
Oh yeah. People are not equal unless you give everybody a lobotomy, Handlebar Moustache says. I assuming he's French. Meanwhile, another member of the group... Is
that because the French are thick? We all have to be on the same playing field as the French. Is that what you're saying?
No, it just seems everybody else that's radioed is French. So I'm just like they're all going to be like twiddling their moustaches and eating baguettes in between.
How did they get anything done then? Did they get anything done?
Well, they seem to do human.
No, they outsourced it to the Koreans, didn't they?
How about this? How about this one then? By Ray's got it. Top Gear, but they make a planet of clones themselves like Rimmelworld. It's a caste system, in case you're wondering.
Yeah. Richard Hammond clones himself. James May gets a surprise. Clarkson, and I make the best clone in the world. It's 120-foot tall Jeremy Clarkson. Jag. Oh, boy at work today was just like, oh, you've got a Jag. I was like, yes, I do. Where we going? Right. So, yes, surgeons. Compensation. Meanwhile, another member of the group, a man with a long grey ponytail, keeps coming up with ideas like free energy via hydrogen. And then maybe we can just teach the world about love and sharing, and everything will just fall into place.
Have we got to teach these people? Have we got to play them that episode of South Park where Cartman inherits the fucking fun, the part of the amusement park? Have we got to do?
No, he doesn't inherit it,
so they understand how it works. Yes, he
does. No, he gets an inheritance of $1 million from his aunt, so he buys a failing amusement park, and he turns it into an overnight success by his innovative marketing strategy of "Welcome to Cartman Land, you can't come in." I really like that episode. I've watched the director's cut where Kyle dies of a hemorrhoid and Cartman's just like a millionaire. Now. The two baby boomers reach an impasse. They can't even communicate. Well, that's because one of them's French and the other one's American. And the rest of us in the group aren't much help either. We're all sitting on one sofa together, and I feel trapped in the middle. At one point, Claude comes over and explains to us, with a noticeable bit of exasperation, that we need to be coming up with specific policy ideas, or there's no point in any of this. Come on, you need to come up with specific policy ideas, my guys. Luckily, some of the other groups announced that they've made some progress. One group proposes creating a TV show that's on every channel and mandatory to watch, educating Americans about paradism. Another group suggests that if you inject bodily fluids from an informed rat into an uninformed rat, the uninformed rat becomes informed. Oh man, we could inseminate. We can inseminate knowledge into people.
Wait, is that how it works?
Look, Bill Cosby wasn't raping them. He was just inseminating them with his success. It's like, I want you to be a big star like me. Goody goody, go with you. Goody goody.
How about this? How about this from 1998 Fortean Times? A Turk who tried to cure his sexual impotence by having a donkey penis transplant so annoyed his family that his son shot him in the leg. On 3 occasions, Mehmet Esigen, 52, bought a donkey, amputated its sexual organs, and appealed in vain for a doctor to perform the transplant. He intended to buy a 4th donkey after his recovery from the gunshot wound.
Rick Wilson says he was that dumb he was fucking them senseless.
I get the feeling you're not interested in this topic.
I am, but that was too funny to pass up.
Human cloning and donkey penises.
Yeah.
James May clones the Stig. Clarkson. I was just inseminating knowledge into him. I'm the fastest driver in the world.
Fucking hell, I've got another one. Ireland's tallest man was arrested for shoplifting after checkout girls gave police a description of the 7'5" thief.
It's like, no, I was at home that day measuring my height in the wall. Look, here's me with a picture of today's newspaper, using it to mark off the spot on the wall where I measure myself every day.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
So, no, we'll carry on because this is an important topic here. It's knowledge via chemical injection.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I think I found the origin of crocodile. A powder made from drying, roasting and grinding lizard's tails has become a favourite with Calcutta's poorer drug addicts, replacing heroin and cocaine. It's easy available, requires no expertise producer and is legal. It's usually rolled into cigarettes with an average sized tail for good for 2 smokes. The habit began in Calcutta following reports of habitual use by the Manipur tribe.
I think it's called crocodile because when they inject it, it causes necrosis of the skin that looks like crocodile skin.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
True.
So, it's knowledge via chemical injection. The best group of all is led by a man in a groovy blue velvet jacket. A bongo should stop all wars and replace the American political process with geniocracy? A rule by genies? The Radian philosophy in which geniuses rule over everybody else.
So, Plato, but...
King Banana should also abolish the Federal Reserve and order the US military to do urban renewal in the United States. Well, this sounds sensible to me. Meanwhile, the college professor complains that Obama lost all credibility as a leader when the administration recently said there was no evidence of alien visitations on Earth. That proved President Obama is not an informed... Well, he's right, because this is why we're talking about the UFOs. Sorry, the UAPFOS, because we got to change... You know, it's like LGBT. Now it's LGBTQS+. The plus stands for paedophile. The P stands for paedophile. The everything in it stands for paedophile. Allegedly. Later I chat with Pablo. Hello, my name Pablo. A Radian who came to the United States from Cuba in 1986 on a raft made out of inner tubes. He was nearly eaten by sharks twice during the 6-day journey. Nobody hates communism more than Pablo. I had the opportunity to live in a communist country, says Pablo. I would never wish for somebody to live in a communist society. But he says that Radian teachers, like paradism and geniocracy, are different than authoritarian communism because they're more compassionate. Pablo used to be a Buddhist, and he sees Radianism as similar to Buddhism, only with more answers about what we're doing on this planet.
How about this one then, Hobbit? A woman driver was halted at a red light in Joliet, Illinois, when a male pedestrian broke her driver's side window with his fist and began urinating in her car. She drove forward and she drove forward and broke her driver. She drove forward and hit a vehicle travelling west. The woman and her passenger were treated in hospital. Police did not know. You like that one, Hobbit?
Hang on, I got to find this news article. Woman stopped.
So it's Joliet, Illinois, and it's probably going to
Joliet, Illinois.
Yeah. 24th of February 1997.
24th Feb 1997.
Herald News.
Woman stopped by man punched window.
The Herald News was the newspaper.
Well, let's see if... not many great matches came. Women punched through takeaway window in Totnes. No. Well, it was same man... Joliet. Oh, fuck it, I'll find it afterwards. Let's carry on with the Radiance.
You keep talking, I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah. I had the opportunity to live... Oh, yeah, he said Pablo. Later, we all go to dinner at a tapas restaurant where I noticed that almost nobody shares their small plates with each other. Wait, so they're not practicing what they preach?
No.
Ah. Pleasure centres. Come to my pleasure centre. Go searching online for recent pictures of the Radiants, and you'll mostly find pictures from various LGBT pride. This was in the olden days before the plus stands for paedophile. Pride parades from around the world. The Radiants have really embraced the queer community, and Claude tells me very earnestly that they're into supporting all sexual and gender identities. I vibrated when I first heard that, Claude adds. The book Sensual Meditation contains a lot of stuff about how disgraceful it is that gay and lesbian people are attacked and discriminated against. And Claude tells me that not only is everyone on the Elohim planet androgynous and lovely, but one evening at Happiness Academy is always devoted to dressing as the opposite gender, so that people can be freed from their preconceptions. At dinner, the college professor tells us a story about how he dressed up on the wrong night and wound up splitting his dress open. Oh, I imagine egg must have been on his face that night. In Sensual Meditation, Rael writes about wanting to go open the centres of sensual meditation, which are truly schools of sensuality, in various cities, including Montreal and Brussels. There, consenting adults, and in France, people over 15, with a note from their parents, can learn about sensual touching and compare their naked bodies with each other. They can learn how to use their organs to attain the maximum pleasure. As far as I know, no permanent sensual meditation centres have yet been opened. And meanwhile, the Radians want to open a pleasure hospital in Africa. Yes, they definitely need sex education over there, where they'll perform reconstructive surgery on African women who've undergone female genital mutilation. Well, they're going to do the same for male genital mutilation, or does that not matter because fuck men, am I right, sisters? This Adopt a Clitoris program...
Andronese or whatever they are. Fucking... androgynous here, Hobbit.
This Adopt a Clitoris program has been...
that's good. You can get get newspapers. Their archive goes from 1920 to 2012. Is missing.
Oh.
That's spooky.
A bit annoying. This is why I got to open the window. I thought the audience would appreciate if we have a bit of road traffic and such in it, because but also there's some flies in my room and I want them to buzz off. So it's been controversial, to say at least, amongst feminists who see a lot of problems with white people saying they're going to adopt African people's genitalia. No, African women's clitorises. Sorry, this is 2023. Be clitorist Africans. I asked a bunch of Radians about their Clitorade venture, and they insist that was actually started by an African.
This organisation's got the best names.
I tell you what,
Clonade and Clitorade.
Not to be mixed up with Gatorade. And meanwhile, the Radiants want to open... Oh yeah, we said that bit. I asked a bunch about the Clitorade venture, and his sister was actually started by an African woman who asked them to help out.
Can you help me?
Nicole describes female genital mutilation as a crime against humanity and says that we want to stop that from happening and give every woman the right to have sexual pleasure. Well, what about men? I'm thinking a bit misogynies right now. And she believes that by reconstructing damaged clitorises and allowing African women to feel pleasure again, the aliens
How are
can
they going to do that, though?
Well, human cloning. Duh.
Oh, right. So yeah, that's it.
Well, unfortunately, human cloning doesn't include foreskins, so because fuck you, I guess.
We can clone it. We can clone the person, but we can't clone the foreskin.
The aliens can prove that female genital mutilation is pointless as well as cruel because it's reversible. Oh, what about seconds?
No. I don't think it works
Look,
like that.
My guy. At what point do you not understand about human cloning? If there's one thing a bit disturbing about the Radians in person, it's the way they throw around the words like genius and
I found this story. The actions of 2 car passengers who appeared to lean out a car window to urinate while travelling 100 kilometres an hour on a New Zealand highway are being condemned. I'm sure the horse bitch will fucking hunt them down, won't she?
She's literally just pissing in the wind. What's the matter? But what the problem is?
There's a lot of people urinating on cop cars. There's a lot of stories about that.
I just
disrespect.
I want the story about man punches the window open, pisses in the wind to space. Like, God, you bitch.
Oh no, squatting woman urinates in middle of Newland Avenue before running off in Hull, that is. The classy woman urinates on the path and runs off, someone said.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah.
What a gal.
Yeah.
If there's one thing a bit disturbing about the Radians in person, it's the way they throw them genius. So if they're talking about a type of person, they want the world to be governed by geniuses instead of by popularly elected representatives.
Oh no, I can't find it.
Representative, and they keep talking about how scientists can advise leaders in Africa. They seem like smart people, but not necessarily.
Another case of in-flight urination under the influence of alcohol has been reported. An Indian man travelling from New York to Delhi in an American Airlines flight was detained at the airport in Delhi for allegedly urinating on his co-passenger. News agents PTI reported on Monday.
Oh, it's just part of Ayurvedic medicine. What's wrong with that? So, okay. So they want the world to be governed by geniuses. They keep talking about how scientists can advise leaders in Africa. And the obsession with rule by scientists reminds slightly the mid-1970s Doctor Who villains. Well, it was also the plot.
A drunk woman urinated in public, then got into a car, reversed it into a parked vehicle before getting out and walking away.
And then when arrested, she's like, "Why are you arresting me? This isn't my... I'm not to blame here.
I'm just waiting for a mate." Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for a mate.
Just parked up here.
Waiting for a mate.
Yeah, just
parked here, mate.
So, tapas, the thing, geniuses, right. That was the plot of Moonraker. It's just like, I'm going to have the smartest people in the world, and it was like, the bit which seemed a bit goofy about me is like, this moon base has got the smartest people in the world, and it was like, there was a black woman there with an afro.
Man urinates on cops. How about this one from India? Man urinates on cop's car and then beats him up for ejecting.
I want that story about, like, stop the women, punch the window in, pissing through it.
Can't find it, mate. Can't find the years. Those years.
That is annoying. Well, so who cares if you can't find it in the Herald? There must be other newspapers covering that thing. So Radiant's a person, isn't ruled by geniuses a bit elitist? Not really, they all say. The system we have now in which people and money get to control the government is the true elitist system. And the geniuses would be serving humanity, not ruling over us. Geniocracy would only happen if the people chose to get rid of democracy via the democratic process. Pablo, the Cuban refugee, you said that before. tells me that America can never become communist because once people have tasted freedom, they'll never give it up. It would be like if he told me that I have to move back in with my parents and live with the curfew and stuff. Once you've been free, you can't take that away from people. But Pablo says genocracy is a great concept. Oh, sorry. It's a great concept because when a genius invents something, they do it for the welfare of human race. When Albert Einstein invented atomic energy, he wasn't thinking about building a bomb. Actually, the only thing that Albert Einstein, quotation marks, he invented was a refrigerator. And that was just another patent he plagiarized from. Fuck Einstein. So geniuses, by definition, are people who have good intentions who can help us solve problems. Yeah, I'm sure Bill Gates has just got good intentions. So what would Pablo say to the Elohim?
Yeah, he has good intentions, just not for you.
Yes, if he could meet the aliens who created the human race and abandoned us, would he be pissed or full of questions about why they left us alone? No, he says. Say thank you for everything. I'm Pablo from Cuba. We're here because of them. Sometimes when you go full of trials and tribulations, you'll say, oh, it'd be nice if they were helping us out. But at the same time, we have to grow. We have to do our own growing. And that's the end of the article. I think it is. So,
I've got a brilliant one here. At least 12 sorcerers were beaten to death in Ghana in January. Seven of them over the weekend of the 18th and 19th of January, accused of using witchcraft to make penises shrink or vanish, or as the British tabloid The Sun subtly put it, Knob Mob kill Willie Witherus. The merest touch would cause victims to lose their marital apparel. That's it, marital apparel, isn't it? According to the quaint terminology of one news report, after which they were persuaded to hand over cash in return for a cure. The police examined all the alleged victims and found their tackle intact. In a bold oversimplification, they dismissed the disturbances as the work of thieves spreading rumours to create crowds and pickpockets. Many others attributed the crime.
Wait. So you're saying that there's no willy snatching and people are just being like hypnotized into believing they don't have it anymore or something, or the horrendous, I don't know if horrendous is a word, but the thought of they don't know what a willy is.
Might be. Many others attributed the crisis to the fact that severed genitals are required as a mutti for witchcraft rituals. Most of the deaths were in the capital, Accra, but by the 21st of January, the panic was spreading. In the town of Kumasi, police had to open fire on a mob. Not shoot in the air. Open fire on a mob to save one man from a lynching. Some women also complained of shrinking breasts and labia. Police with automatic rifles patrolled markets and bus stations, while medical experts appeared on state television to explain in detail why penises increase and decrease in size. Not long after, the trouble spread to the neighbouring Ivory Coast. Angry mobs burned or beat to death at least 2 alleged sorcerers in Abidjan, the capital, on the 6th of March, and police ordered all impromptu gatherings dispersed in an effort to prevent the attacks from spreading. Round the corner from the US Embassy in the city centre, one alleged sorcerer fled to a nearby police station for protection as youths hurled stones. Amused bystanders looked on while fearful young men covering their genitals with their hands. The dead in Abidjan appeared to be Hausa, a major Muslim group in northern Nigeria with migrants in many West African countries. One was covered in petrol and set alight in Abidjan's populous Kumasi suburb, and a second was beaten to death in Port Bouet on the outskirts of the city. The independent newspaper Le Jour carried a front-page photograph of the charred Kumasi body and quoted witnesses saying the man was burned as a sorcerer. A mob seriously hurt a third man in Markari suburb. Witnesses reported a second man burned to death in Kumasi, but there was no official confirmation. Last summer, a penis-snatching panic hit Cameroon, where mobs hanged 3 Nigerians. Back in 1990, an identical scare swept through Nigeria itself, resulting in at least 4 lynchings. Residents of Accra record a similar scare triggering panic in the early 1980s.
I just want to say, with the alien stuff, there's a Babylon 5 trailer, and it's a cartoon, and I think what's very Fortean about it is how all the characters in it, including the human beings, all look like hammerhead sharks.
Mm.
Oh, is that the new trailer that got released?
What is it with, like... maybe it's a trend amongst people, but like the eyes are moving further and further. Like, are humans turning into a prey species? Is that why? Like they're getting like like horses and sheep, where the eyes are on the edges and not straight ahead.
Maybe.
I'd much rather look at predators than I would prey. I mean, for a start, you can look them in the eyes.
Okay, you can see them coming up behind you. That's.
Did Brittany Ventry become an actress? Yes, she was in The Little Mermaid. So,
right.
aliens, eh? They've been on the news, I hear.
Yeah.
Probably means going back to Antarctica at some point.
Tucker was talking about them.
Yeah.
A lot of public urination going on.
Yeah. Cool.
But can't find the story that I read out. Maybe it's made up. Who knows?
Hey, what?
I've been allegedly, I have known somebody to urinate in public, like in the bushes, once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so what else are we doing? We're doing some unexplained histories.
Yeah, you could do that.
We haven't done that for a couple of weeks. We didn't do any last week, did we?
No, but but that's because we're dealing with the important thing of UNESCO and Tavistock.
Well, we're dealing with the important thing of
the
OBS shit in the lab.
Oh, yes.
Shit in the bed.
Tavistock shut us down.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, not talking about UNESCO. No OBS problems.
There you go. That's it.
Maybe those people are right when they say that they're trying to shut them down.
Yeah. One for Ian here. Three notoriously cursed horror movies. Do you remember we did cursed horror movies? Oh, they reckon they've found another English king in a car park. King Henry.
Oh yeah, I heard about
that. For fuck's sake, really?
Yeah.
Well, they're also going to pave over. I can't remember the thing. It's got a word, hasn't it? Bucket.
Don't know.
Don't say fuck or bugger.
Back in 2012, historian and researcher Philippa Langley and colleagues at the Richard III Society announced they were going to search for the remains of the long-lost and much-maligned king beneath a car park that was built on top of a site at which Greyfriars Church once stood. Incredibly a skeleton, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward to the present, and now Langley believes that she's discovered the final resting place of King Henry I, one of Richard III's predecessors. Like before, she believes his remains are located beneath a car park, this time one that happens to be situated outside Reading Prison. Bizarrely, a survey of the area has the letter K marked on it. So there we go. If humans vanished, what would the Earth be like 1 year after?
Oh, it'd be wonderful, and the koala bears would take over running the nuclear waste processing facilities.
Well, first thing you'd notice wouldn't be with your eyes, be with your ears. People are noisy.
Mate, like, all I can hear right now is fucking birds! Won't shut up!
Oh, you'd notice a lot more bugs buzzing around. Remember, people tend to do everything. Has somebody literally just made this shit up? Like
anyway, how would you notice all this stuff anyway?
What are the bugs fucking eating?
Dead?
They're eating our rotten food that we fucking leave everywhere. You fucking dummy.
Look, if no humans existed on Earth, all life on Earth would cease to exist. This planet is for our benefit. When we go, it goes. It doesn't have
a stupid
purpose.
I'm not reading any more of that. It's stupid.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is it stupid?
Because scientists.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, what they're actually saying, like, interesting.
If scientists
thing,
told me
but they're
water
being
is
retarded,
wet,
they'd go, you'd see a lot more bugs running around because people swap them with newspapers. It's like, fuck off, dickhead.
yes, because bugs are not known for their prolific breeding rates.
Yeah. To be honest, I'd say we probably make like stuff like rats. Rats and bugs probably proliferate because of us, not despite of us.
Are you scratching your beard on your microphone?
No, my ear. Sorry.
Ah, okay.
Las Vegas family. This is supposed to be a bit of a weird story, isn't it? Las Vegas family report aliens in backyard after object crash lands. There's
oh shit! Yeah,
because that's the one where they go,
right.
oh no, we don't want to take a video out the back because their privacy, blah blah. Didn't they? It's like supposed to be like dead weird, isn't it?
Wait, isn't that the fake one? Isn't that the thing on Twitter the other day? They were like saying it was fake or something. There was a community.
I heard Matt Walsh was talking about it, and he said it was weird. It was weird, like the cameras went there, but they wouldn't go in the backyard because of privacy.
Privacy.
Oh,
there's an alien outside my ass.
Yeah.
So this is alien adjacent.
Yeah.
Microsoft's AI threatened to kill members of the World Economic Forum, sparking fresh concerns about AI safety.
We can't.
Yes,
we obviously can't co-sign the violence and threats.
No.
Look, you know the thing is, right? Every time, like, I see, like, Arch Linux and transgenderism and Linux in general and Brutus and Microsoft releasing products which work and aren't okay, caveats there.
We don't see that, Hobbit. When's the last time Microsoft released a product that worked straight out of the box?
Hey, AI. And now new Microsoft AI.
Villagers in India find that newly laid road is carpet with asphalt on it.
The incident occurred when the AI had no filter and was told not to lie. Experts,
hey, I got one free in here. $30,000 in cash reward offered for evidence of the Loch Ness monster. Pull your finger out, Ian.
Yeah, there you go. You could be rich.
Experts say it's just copying nonsense on the internet, so nothing to see here. Moving on. Although I think I will read that article later.
Yeah, wasn't there a video released recently of an alien in someone's back? Is that the one you're on about?
I think that's
the one in Las Vegas.
Yeah, it was like there's a camera like literally there right in front of it, and it was like picking its arse or something.
Yeah, I thought there was something weird about the garden. They said they wouldn't go into the garden because of privacy concerns.
Yeah, they somehow have a camera looking at it or something.
Yeah,
it's just like you got the shot of it. Like, how did you get the fucking camera there?
I'll put a story. Do you want to read that one? Crashed UFO distorted space and time, and just put it in the back chat.
Oh yeah, that was one I wanted to cover. So
you can do that one.
Yeah, here we go. So last week, who previously worked with the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, yeah, that's a real thing, known as NG, and now top-level clearance at the unidentified aerial phenomenon UAPFOS made the startling claim that the US government had long been in possession of intact and partially intact vehicles of non-human origin, sparking renewed interest in full UFO disclosure. Now, Daniel Sheehan, a lawyer who has been working to bring whistleblowers and other witnesses to Congress in an effort to expose the US government's involvement with UFOs and alien visitors, has revealed details of an object that his name's David, so I'm going to call him David, claimed that it distorted space and time. They tried to hook a bulldozer to it to pull it out, he told Mail Online, and it pulled out a shape like a pie slice, almost like it was part of the way it was constructed. When it came loose a couple of feet, they stopped immediately. They didn't want to destroy the integrity of the machine. They had a guy go into it, he got in there, it was as big as a football stadium. It was freaking him out and started making him feel nauseous.
Did he lick all the surfaces for good measure? I mean, just strolling straight into a fucking UFO. He should have just licked all the surfaces as well. It would have been absolutely fine, wouldn't it?
He was so disorientated because it was so gigantic inside. It was the size of a football stadium, while outside only about 30 foot in diameter. He staggered back out after being in there a couple of minutes. And outside, it was 4 hours later. There was all kinds of time distortion and space distortion. Interesting.
That'd be quite annoying. Imagine like you're an alien, you get into the ship and you're like, oh bugger, I left my keys outside. And then you go out and get it and you fucking key it, someone's nicked your alien car keys.
Oh, there's a guy here who's saying that...
Where's my UFO?
Yeah.
The guy who's been reading Frank Herbert novels, the ones which I didn't particularly like. The Jesus Incident series is awesome. He theorized a giant single intelligent organism on the small ocean planet, which is highly probable if there's an ocean moon orbiting a gas giant. The Dasadi experiment and the God Makers are awesome too. I wore out 2 Dune series and a Jesus Incident series while cowboying, logging and camping.
What do you think is the most important part to build life then? Do you think it is water, or do you think obviously, because I'm sure things could like adapt with different breathing atmospheres. I think you'd need water, wouldn't you?
Your spirit first of all, but before you get the material, the life has to come from the spirit realm and incarnate into the thing. Reddit Janny's on suicide watch. Yeah, that's UFOs. What else have we got? It's not there, the UFO stuff. Well, I think we talked about UFOs. UFO, what if I type in that? We've got that. Three major UFO happenings. The wrong
search term there, Hobbit. It's WAP now. Wet ass pussy.
Yeah, wet ass UFO.
Yeah.
They've spelt Grolsch differently here. It's GRO thing.
Did you not want to do about?
And then they spell it differently again.
US recovered vehicles of non-human origin.
Yeah, that's David Grolsch.
Oh, Grush.
Grolsch?
Thrush.
Dr. Stephen Greer's been doing the news again. If you've been like for this stuff again,
isn't he like your classic fucking CIA stooge? Allegedly.
Oh, speaking of alien pictures, 10,000 reward on Twitter for pics of Michelle Obama pregnant. Sorry, Freudian slip there.
Trail camera films 2 scantily clad witches eating a deer carcass.
Oh yes, that's totally normal. Nothing to see here.
Oh, there are no pictures from it.
Good.
British Columbia, that is. I'm not surprised. British Columbia's. Is British Columbia Canada in it?
No, British.
Yes, British Columbia is part of Canada.
Oh, I thought it was. Yeah, so you know why there's witches there, then, don't you? Because of that. Because of the communists' son, isn't it? Strange man barges into family's home while claiming to be a ghost. Wasn't that a Viz comic of it? Remember the one where the kid had his friend who was a ghost, but it was a convict under a sheet? Do you remember that?
No, I didn't know about this one.
Right.
Is spooky UFO sightings? Say goodbye to the manual Volkswagen Golf. The entire lineup, including the Golf GTI, is set to go auto only as part of its upcoming facelift, due to the Euro 7 rules. What?
Yeah, I've had a few vetoes, and they're all automatic now.
Euro 7. What's wrong with Euro 6? Oh, sorry, the vehicles aren't retarded enough yet. We need to make them dildo powered.
Yeah. The FDA has approved Elon Musk's Neuralink. On the way to the Mark of the Beast, boys.
Really?
It's literally just a
Fucking
chip
hell.
you put in your brain
Yeah.
that scans your thoughts at all times.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you don't need a chip in your brain to do that because Wi-Fi and stuff. See the episode we did a few weeks back about, was it wireless or radar or something?
Something like that.
You remember when we did the unironic microwave scanning stuff?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that story a bit? I just put another one in.
Actually, I want to eat something, but
Oh, we can
Yeah.
wind up a little bit early if you want.
Yeah.
well, I mean, like UFOs, Radians was pretty good. They they do human cloning, but now you can't have human clones. But if you ask them on the download, they'll probably help you out. There is.
I just love the way they outsourced it to fucking Korea.
You know what? I read that entire Gizmodo article, and not at one point did I go onto the Radian website to say more about like the stuff. And now I'm more interested in this Euro 7 Golf GTI thing. Here's the other thing, right? They're saying like the automatic Golf GTI is currently priced. It's £1,500 more than the manual car. So it's like it's less fun, and you have to pay more money for it, and women drive it. Fuck's sake! Volkswagen technical department boss Kai Grunitz confirmed to Autocar, the aliens want us to install automatics in because they find out manual is too complicated for them. They keep crushing them. This is why there are no more manual UFOs in the world.
How about this one, I bet? The Lancaster family, fed up with a crime-ridden area of Arizona, moved to Ohio, but the removal man with all their belongings was stolen from outside their house on the day of their move. Do you want me to read your favourite story once again, Hobbit? A woman driver was halted at a red light in Joliet, Illinois, when a male pedestrian broke her driver's side window with his fist and began urinating into her car. She drove forward, hit a vehicle travelling west. The woman and her passenger were treated in a hospital. Police did not catch the suspect. So he got away with it as well.
That story. Let me see if what happens if I type a woman was. A woman was hit in a car, stopped in a car.
Don't know.
A woman was. Oh, how's that for memory retention? You just said it, and I've forgotten that. But a woman was stopped in Joliet, Illinois, by a man who punched her car. Let's see if that comes up. See if I can find it. I should be using. Russian woman's punched in the face by a fellow contestant over. Woman punched by man on Russian TV show. Joliet News.
Mr. B.A. Williams of Staffordshire, a Freemason of some 25 years standing, defines Masonry as a male amateur dramatic society with a limited repertoire and a captive audience.
What happened to the guy who punched Snooky on Jersey Shore?
Don't know.
These are the stories which, other paranormal woo investigation channels will not tell you. A woman in her 20s bundled into car and raped by two men.
What
yes.
the fuck? How about this one? According to an old TASS report from Leningrad, scientists have bred amphibious chickens. After the full training course, said Dr. Igor Chavosky, who conducted the test, the offspring have not only swam and dived freely, but even ate, slept it, and, in a word, lived underwater. Everyone is amazed to see a chicken ducking under and calmly pecking at grain thrown to the bottom of the pool. It's seldom surfaced for air. These are actually quite good, these old ancient issues of the Fortean times, aren't they?
Story. Man stops woman, punches the window, pisses in her face, gets away with it.
Another one.
Is this the next TikTok craze?
Just like the spoopy clowns.
Yeah.
You found some more urinating stories in of it.
I mean, what is this episode?
I'm just
What the fuck is this episode?
I'm just reading about the horrors of the Euro 7 rule. So less noise from the exhaust, rev limiter when stationary. No, almost every car would have an automatic only.
Oh, no. Fucking hell. Did you know Isaac Newton believed the world would end in 2060?
2060?
Yeah.
Huh, what did he know?
End in 2060?
The world.
He thought the world would end in 2060.
Who did?
So, in one series of notes, he concluded that 2060 was a possible date for the apocalypse, or more specifically, the end of an era of Earth's history. So, he says, 1. The 2,300 prophetic days did not commence before the rise of the little horn of the he-goat. Those days did not commence after the destruction of Jerusalem and ye temple by the Romans AD 70. The time and times half a time did not commence before the year 800, in which the Pope's supremacy commenced. They did not commence after the reign of Gregory VII, 1084. The 1290 days did not commence before the year 842. They did not commence... no, I've already said that one. The difference between the 1290 and 1335 days are parts of the 7 weeks. Therefore, 2,300 years do not end before the year 2132, nor after 2370. The times and half-time do not end before 2060, nor after 2344. The 1290 days do not end before 2090, nor after 2374. Newton was convinced that Christ would return around this date and establish a global kingdom of peace.
Oh God!
What?
Oh no!
What?
It's two pictures side by side. So, oh God! This is very woo woo, right? What I'm about to show you. It might be too woo woo for the show. Study shows why rich men love smaller breasts, poor men prefer big breasts.
Oh fucking hell!
Sorry, guys.
Oof.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Are we talking? On that one.
Are we talking about men that don't sweat? Is that what we're talking about here?
Oh, wow, I can neither confirm nor deny these Pizza Express allegations.
That's that. Yeah. I mean, what a name, though. Our Mayor Comrade Goodwin.
That's a real name.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Right then.
Right, are we done?
We are done.
We are done.
Go away!
Yeah, go away
now.
We're done. Good night. Stay spooky, etc., etc.
Oh, I can't believe you put that picture on.
Night all.